Look at all those friendly people that just hopped right in.
Hey.
I know. Look at them. They're drinking coffee. They're smiling. All of those smiling faces. What's up, guys?
I got my coffee. I'm ready.
Yeah, I've got a real treat for you guys today because a couple of weeks ago, I posted inside the group like who wants to start a low ticket offer, or maybe you've been thinking of launching it. And a ton of you guys like raised your hand saying, hey, I'm at this stage right now. And so I thought, you know what? I'm just going to grab Justin and Sarah, who have literally just crossed the threshold of using a low ticket offer for a 6-figure month. How freaking amazing is that? And so, like, between the three of us, we have all built a business off of a low ticket offer. And, I tell this story a lot. I'm very public about this is, whenever I went to launch my $7 program, I was the running joke in the high ticket world 2 Black Fridays ago. I was made fun of. I was told that I was devaluing myself. I was told all kinds of things. And you know what? I was starting to kind of think that that was true until I found a network of people who were like, no, like what you're doing is amazing and you're going to help a lot of people. And I know Justin and Sarah here have built an amazing community. I know because I'm a part of it. And we have all just really just kind of embraced the whole low ticket offer. And it has simplified their lives, I know for sure, and mine, as this is actually my dark week. Every 4th week of the month, I don't work. Other than this, I don't really consider this working. And every Friday I have off. Like that is like the life. And I know Justin, who's just bought this like, RV, because I know that you're planning on spending much more time with your kids and traveling. And, this has just been able to build this off of a low ticket offer. So for those of you guys who have been told that you have to start high ticket and you need all of this stuff, we're kind of living proof that you don't necessarily have to start there. That there are other ways. Like I know Justin and Sarah both started low tickets. So we're just going to kind of jam today. I saw that one of the main questions that was being asked among you guys is kind of like the pricing structure. Like how do you decide on a pricing structure? How do you decide on the upsells? And so I'm actually going to turn it over to Justin and Sarah, and they're going to talk about how they decided to structure with their first mini workshop magic, which by the way, if you guys have not purchased that, I'm going to go ahead whenever I post the replay in the group right after this, I'm going to post a special link that you guys can use. That's going to get you guys into mini workshop magic, but also one of their memberships, which is amazing for those of you guys who do want to start low ticket. This is just going to be amazing. I'm so excited to dig in. So I'm going to turn it over to Justin and Sarah. Let's talk pricing. Where did we decide on, the $27 mini workshop magic and then the pricing model all the way up? Like what was your thought behind that?
Can we just take a moment and say it's not fair, Carrie, that you have palm trees and beautiful behind you? Like I have snow. It's cold. It's like -20 today, and you're just like chilling on the porch with palm trees. Like, how is this fair? I'm bitter. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I'm a little sad. Hi, I'm Justin. I see some of our members here, so that's exciting. The cross-pollination. Mm-hmm. Yes, so we are fans of low ticket. We have nothing against high ticket though, so let's put that out there. If you guys do high ticket, it's great. Sarah and I both come from that world, doing very high intense, high budget, intense work, and we got burnt out. Didn't like the pressure, didn't like the weight, didn't like the in a lot of cases the commitment that it required. And so now we're all about low ticket. So we have a $27 workshop. Well, I've got a couple, 37, 27, and 17, because everything has to end in 7, which we can talk about. And then we have a membership. That's basically it. Like that's our entire business model. It's a $27 workshop into a $197 a month membership.
Yeah. And when we set the prices, I remember like when we first were opening up Wake Up to Freedom and talking about, and that's our membership, talking about like, well, what is this going to be? What's the price point going to be? And we had started at like a much higher price point than it is right now. Like we were talking about, maybe it's going to be $500 or $1,000 a month because of the value that we want to deliver in there. And I feel like every single morning for a week, I opened my Facebook Messenger and Justin was like, what if we did it at $400 a month? Like, what if we did it at $300 a month? What if we did it at $200 a month? And we kept walking it down that week before the launch because we wanted it to be like, for one thing, this real community where we wanted it to be a movement actually. And we wanted it to be at an accessible place for a lot of people to get in and be like working together in this awesome, huge community of people headed in the same direction, doing business really differently. And yeah, we also just didn't want it to feel heavy. And we were like, $1,000 a month. I don't know if that feels like a fun price for us. And we just kept walking it back.
Yeah. Pricing is an interesting thing because there's like, I think a lot of people look at it as my industry dictates the price. So if I'm dealing with parents, I can't charge more. If I'm dealing with a not make money offer, I can't charge more. If I'm dealing with a commodity, then it is what it is. And I think it's also, for us, it's like what feels right, which is annoying to say. Because there's not a formula. We can't say if you charge this much, it's going to work based on your offer and your niche. It doesn't really work like that. It's when Sarah and I are looking at pricing. So the $27 workshop, it's a conversation of like what feels right, balanced with how does this align with the ultimate strategy. So for us, we have an inexpensive workshop on the front end. It's $27. It's a no-brainer price. It's an incredible value. It's better than most $1,000+ programs, and people are paying $27 for it. And that's by design, because the next offer is a bit pricier, $197 a month, but it carries that multiplier of value. So instead of it being $27 and having this value, you're paying $197 a month, and you're getting all of these things that are worth significantly more again than $197. And so it's, for Sarah and I, it's very much a conversation. But the one thing that we teach actually and talk about is the idea of when you're doing a low ticket offer, it should feel like painful. Like it should feel like you are giving away an insane amount for this price. Like how in the world does this make sense? That's one of our filters for, is this priced right as a front-end offer? Like, is it painful? Every time you see a ping, a notification, like, oh, that should be $97 or $200 or $500, but it's only $27. Like that literally happens, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, I love that Bianca in the chat, she said Mini Workshop Magic is the best $27 product I've bought. And first of all, thank you. But also like part of that is intentional for us, that we didn't create this and say like we want to compete with $200 courses or $2,000 courses. Like, how can we make sure it's this equal value? It's like, no, how can we put so much like love and service and resources into this that everyone who buys it is like, wait, this is wild, that so much value and insight is included in this $27 product. I can't even imagine what like their more, expensive membership or what something where I get access to them would include. And so that's super fun to just get messages on a regular basis saying, oh my word, I've spent money on a 5K program or on a $500 course, and I didn't get the level of wins that I got inside of your $27 product. And that's super fun.
And there's something that's really cool inside that Mini Workshop Magic. And it's my favorite part because what Sarah teaches, there's one part of this that is like this one golden nugget that's worth like, oh my gosh, like so many more thousands of what they're selling it for. And it's that one line offer. And Sarah like explains it so freaking well in Mini Workshop Magic that if you get that one thing that Sarah teaches about the offer correct, that is 80% of your ad like work right there. And I can guarantee you that is like 80% of the work for your ads is done right there. And I know that they're like, using mini workshop as like a low ticket. I use their framework for every single of those coffee and conversion and trainings that I do here. I'm using that exact same framework. It works really, really well. I know a lot of you guys are always asking me the question, Laurel, how do I transition people from a free Facebook group into a paid membership or a paid thing? Using the framework that they lay out in Mini Workshop Magic is freaking amazing. I just had to like say that right here. Like, I know, because some people always, their framework for this Mini Workshop Magic is amazing. I use it for all my live trainings. I use it for all of my Zoom calls that I do with you guys here. It's a framework that really, really works. And there's just so much value in the messaging that Justin and Sarah use to deliver the program. That is just, because I know all of you guys are here to learn ads. The way that they show you guys how to create that offer that is going to be that get people raising their hands, not only with ads, but organically, is hands down the best training I've seen anything like this.
There's someone in the chat, Mr. Aloha, that wants to pay you more, Laurel. So just make sure you include your. I mean, Laurel is a perfect example too, right? You've got a $7 a month into the premium, and what you guys are getting at $7. Like I've personally paid thousands of dollars for Facebook ad programs, and for $7 a month, like you guys are getting more value, more support, more encouragement. Like it's amazing.
It's like Justin says, it hurts to give away, but you know what? I love it. It's my fun thing. And it's like one of those things where a lot of experts are like, just outline the what in your low ticket offer, and then let people pay you for the how. I believe totally opposite. I almost believe that you should put more effort into like that first program, because if you can get people over that first hurdle, they're going to be fans for life. Like a lot of people say, like, Laurel, I love your stuff. Like, how did you come up with your pricing? I was like, you know what? I just decided I was going to do it for $7. I was just like, what's the closest to free other than, and me covering like my break even costs and stuff. I was like $7 a month, right? There was no like formula that I was trying to plug in, and, I wasn't modeling it off. It just felt right for me. I just woke up one day and was like, I'm going to do this for $7 and we're going to try it and see. Yeah.
There was a little nugget you just shared there as far as the break even cost. So that is because we're scaling our offers with ads and we're going to cold. We're not doing any awareness. Like, it's literally just, hey, go buy this thing for $27. You have no idea who we are, but trust us, it's worth it. Like, that's literally the pitch. We're following Sarah's, one-line offer. It's very compelling. The ad creative is great, but at the end of the day, we are definitely going to a cold audience. We don't have credibility. We don't have big name status. We're just a bunch of just two normal people who have a desire to help you, but that's it. And so the $27 price point for us, and then the bump and the one-time offer. Right now, our average order value is around $65, and it's costing us about $20 to $25 to get a sale. But we're okay spending up to $60 to make a sale, because if we do the math, if it costs us $60 to get a sale, and our average order value is around $65, we're okay. It's the break even. So our ads are literally just designed to build our audience and create a list of buyers. And where we actually make our money is the membership. And so very similar to what Laurel just shared there, as far as like the break-even costs, we all have different costs. But for us, our front end low ticket offer is not designed to make money at all. We don't care if it makes money. It's just designed to get the right people into the membership, because that's where we do make money, and that's where we have the ongoing monthly reoccurring.
And we can share like what our order bump structure and pricing, and what the like one-time one-click offer is, if you guys want to hear about that. So like the $27 workshop includes all of the training on how to launch your first mini workshop. And then we have a $17 bump that's called Workshop Profit Maximizer. And so that's like a bonus training on how to add bumps and upsells. So it's very meta.
I think it's more than $17. I don't even remember when the last time I looked. I'm literally going to the checkout right now.
Go to the checkout to figure it out.
Yep. I just literally added the bump like on my own thing, and everyone has taken my $17 bump. Like I literally modeled my $7. Like I just added it last week, every single person, probably someone on this call has probably got it, but it was just
That's so
so
fun.
easily. I'm literally following Justin and Sarah's process. Like it's just so freaking good. And by the way, I just dropped the link to Mini Workshop Magic for those of you guys who want it. Like I'm telling you guys, if you guys go through that and you place your first ad using that formula, like it is worth 10 times what they're charging for this. Because again, if you go through that process, 80% of what agencies will do for you, you could do yourself with just doing that workshop.
Yeah.
The bump is 37, Sarah.
Okay. The bump is 37. My numbers are a little off.
No, it's all good.
And then the one-time offer is a $67 template kit. So in that video, we're saying, hey, in the mini workshop, we literally walk you through the exact posts we use to launch our workshops. But if you want templates to make it easy, here's a full template kit with all the examples. And so both of them are really, really simple. And also neither of them are necessary. Like we wanted to make sure that even if someone just buys the $27 workshop, they'll be able to get everything launched. They're not missing any secret pieces. We're not holding anything back. Like those two extra things are just helping you get going a little bit quicker or helping you scale your results a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So we actually have a really good question, and I hear this a lot, and I know my
Ooh.
answer. So what do you say? So Kaya, who's one of my Rockstar students, she asked, what do you say about the people who say that it's just as easy to sell a high ticket offer as it is a low ticket offer? So why go low ticket if you can sell high ticket? I have my answer, and it's actually in the name of their program, right? So, but I'm going to let you guys answer that. What would you say to that?
Well, the first thing, like the first kind of cheeky thing that I'll say is we had, I don't know, I didn't check the numbers, but yesterday we probably had at least 50 people buy Mini Workshop Magic. We didn't lift a finger. Like we didn't get on the phone with them. We didn't nurture them. They haven't been on our friends list. They literally saw an ad that we've had running in the background for months and they bought it. They're automatically going to get emails about Wake Up to Freedom. They're automatically added to our list where if we're hoping to run events this next year, all of these other things, they're going to get invited to that and they've already gotten wins. So I don't know anyone who has like a 5K program or a 10K program who's getting like sales off of a single Facebook cold ad. So that would be the first kind of like cheeky thing I'd say is like, really? I like, where's your ad that's selling your 10K program straight from a cold ad?
Yeah.
I know mine is freedom.
Yeah, let's hear
freedom.
yours.
Like it's actually it's like in their thing. It's like with a high ticket program, think about this. The more high ticket clients that you bring in, the more one-on-one time you're going to have to spend, the more kind of just the risk, right? Too, because if you're depending on just high ticket, like think about this, like with my $7 program, with my $197 program, with theirs, that's residual every single month. Like they literally hit 6 figures in 1 month, and that's residual. That's not something that they have to go and hustle for again, next month. And so and again, we're not poo-pooing high ticket. Like I've got I have a high ticket, but following the framework, I've been able to switch because my high ticket was what I started with. Here's the thing though. I had 17 agency clients and, like 200 people in this program. Once I started tipping the thing, guess what? I started making more money by getting more people into my lower ticket. And I was able to actually let go of the clients in my high ticket program, which was my agency that wasn't doing the work, that was only costing me time on the phone.
Let's just call a spade a spade. You fired me.
I did not fire you.
Tell the world it happened.
I did not fire you. It's just once you no, you guys grew so much. You guys grow so much. And it's like one of those things when you have like a really high ticket, it becomes like me being the person that's got to do everything. And so now I'm more about my low ticket but I've learned lessons from having a high ticket. I still have my high ticket. It's just not the thing that I focus on because my low ticket, again, I'm sitting here. It's my week off, dark week. I call it, Monica knows, Monica's in my program. We call it dark week. Every 4th week and every Friday I take off. That was something I could not do a year ago whenever I was relying on my high ticket product. I
love that. My original business was a copywriting agency, and it was that exactly what we just talked about, that delivery debt, where even if I made a 5K or a 10K or a 15K sale. And even if that sale was easy, even if that sale, I closed it over Messenger without getting on a phone call, you know, even if I did all of the fancy marketer things to have it be an easy sale, when that money hit my bank account, I still had to then go write the sales page or go build the entire funnel for this person or go write 1,000 emails for them. And there's no getting away from that. And I think as good people, like, we want to deliver for our clients. And so this new client would come in and be this instant pressure of like, how can I over deliver? How can I not get lost juggling all these balls of these other clients? How can I meet deadlines? How can I make sure that everyone's getting great results? And that was a lot to carry, and it wasn't sustainable for me.
I've got two things. Number one, from a practical standpoint, so if you're in the high ticket world and you've got just less clients, for every client that leaves, it's a significant amount of stress added to your plate. And I know this because in my film production days, we'd have clients that were worth $500,000 to us. And to lose a $500,000 client was like, we had to fire people. And that creative team that was in charge of that client is let go. Like that never felt good. And so the fact that like Sarah and I, you know, in the last 6 months, no, not even less than 6 months for Mini Workshop Magic have had like 2,000 plus people buy this product. It means we have 2,000 people, 2,000 clients. If a handful of them leave, for example, our world, it doesn't really affect us in any measurable way. So that's number one. The other one is, and this isn't for everyone, so I don't want to like say that, but we have a desire to impact a lot of people in our experiences separately and together. We've seen people be led astray, be told that this way is the only way, be forced or coerced into like making decisions in their business that are out of alignment with who they are as people. And so with Wake Up to Freedom, with Mini Workshop Magic, like our desire is to help thousands and thousands of people, not from an ego. We want to make $10 million or whatever it is. It's literally just if we can prevent people from going down a path that doesn't feel right, but their coach or their mentor is telling them this is the only way, then that's our actual desire. And so part of the low ticket is, quite frankly, we just get to help a lot more people, hopefully not go down that path.
Yeah. So does anyone have any questions? Like, unmute yourself, throw yourself on camera. Like, this is our jam. Like, we love being able to help you guys. Like, and here's one thing, like, for those of you guys who are sitting here thinking, oh, I have a high ticket program, that's good. Like, you can actually use that high ticket to fund all of your stuff as you're building that low ticket option. So this is not, you know, I just want to be extremely clear that this training is not saying you should dump your high ticket and just go for low ticket. Like, for me personally, I started high ticket because that was the thing that I was told to do, but it helped me actually fund me to be able to start this and fund the ads and fund my time and everything. So don't think that if you have a high ticket, we're telling you, you know, to drop that or anything like that. We're just saying, find the balance that's going to work with your lifestyle and what you want in life. Like me, I know I didn't want to build an agency. Everyone was like, you have all these agency clients. Why don't you focus on building the agency? That's $1 bazillion. And I'm like, yeah, but that's hiring people. That's overhead. That's all of these other things. And so you just have to pick the path that works for you. Like, that's one thing that, you know, I will say, like, with my program, I will never, ever come with a hammer. That's what my mentor always says, like a hammer telling you, I know Sarah and Justin are very familiar with this, is like, we will never just tell you like, this is the one way to do it. We just want to show you all of the different pathways because we've all been there. All three of us had been through high ticket. We've all been through low ticket. We could tell you the pros and cons and everything. And so we're here to support you guys, whatever feels right for what you guys are doing. So let's have some fun. Let's like turn on our cameras. Let's get some questions going, because I know a lot of you guys have them. I know the chat's going crazy. It's much more fun to just, talk face to face. And, I'm going to be respectful of Justin and, Sarah's time. But yeah, let's get in some quick questions here.
We are yours. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then,
away.
okay. Well, you guys are getting a really amazing opportunity here. So make sure that you guys take advantage of it.
Heather, we do not care if you are your jammies with Bedhead. I think you've been on one of our calls like that already. It's okay. Okay, who wants to go first?
Yeah, I've got a question for you guys, if that's okay.
Of course.
It's Sanjay here. Sorry, I don't know what I'm looking like through the camera. I know the lighting's not good at the moment. So yeah, this was the thing. I'm really happy you said that, because I'm like you. I want to help as many people as possible, but I was always told, like, do the high ticket first, build clients there, because the low ticket's a hamster wheel. And then Laurel saying that, like, it's given her more freedom, just completely blew my mind. It's kind of the opposite of everything I've heard. So I'm really inclined to do that, because I've always felt like that is the right way to do it. So growing out the low ticket, what's the proportion that tend to go into those? So you've got 197 per month, right? How do you kind of get them through to that? What's the difference between those two tiers?
So that's part of what we offer in our workshop is that.
Yeah, I'm going to buy that
methodology.
Yeah.
And part of it is, it's just being really strategic with how, like, we talk about it in the Profit Maximizer, the idea of like the story of your products. Like, someone buys the product, the bump and the upsell, like how does that story carry through? And then the upgrade, which we call creating an upgrade environment. Part of that is just like making sure that story is very clear, like why someone would want to or not want to, because not everyone is right for the back end offer. And then we have something called like invitational cues that are given at various stages to let people know, like, hey, if you want more support, if you want to be involved with other people who are doing this, if you want our personal help, like, we have those offers. And it's being really transparent, I think is the word I would say, with our offers, where it's like we're not ashamed to say, or we're not scared to say, hey, we have this thing, it's awesome, it's $197 a month. If you are really intent on creating a mini workshop, there is literally no better place than to be inside of Wake Up to Freedom. Like, we are not ashamed or anything to say that. But I think the biggest thing is literally that throughput, that story, because you see a lot of people trying to have back-end offers that are out of alignment with the front end. And then they're like scratching their head and they're like, I don't understand, why aren't people upgrading? It's like, it's such a good back-end offer. Well, it's because they came in for one thing, and that throughput to the back-end offer is just out of alignment. There's something off about that.
Right.
And usually there's like two ways to structure the front end to the back end. One is, here are all the steps in my front end offer. Now, do you want to do it with me personally? Like, want me to personally help you do this, optimize this, work on this, figure out the kinks? Or your front end is like the first step and helps them get like a really specific quick win. And then it's like, do you want me to personally help you take the next step? So it's like, okay, you've launched your first Facebook ad. Now, do you want me to help you, manage the data or create the back end funnel or something? So that's usually what that through line will usually look like, one of those two things. And we've had, as high a conversion as 59%, I think, go from front end to back end when we've, done live workshops to a back end offer. And then with Evergreen, it's typically a little bit lower, but we've still had really consistent growth from one to the next. Because I think when you help people get results for $7 or $27, and people are like, wait, I'm already like feeling happier, my relationship is already getting better because of what you taught, or I'm already seeing this ROI in my business, like, it's a no-brainer to continue working with you. And that's one of the reasons that conversion is so natural, because there's already that trust built.
Right. I was thinking about doing like a low ticket membership like Laurel, and then having spin-off programs like courses So it wouldn't be necessarily like a $197 a month, but it would be like, I'm launching this course, it's $247 or something like that, and having different programs. Do you think that model could work?
So what would be your front end? Like, you'd have a membership as a front end, and then you'd invite your members into these multiple back end courses?
Yeah, so it would be like a front end sort of general, like if it's for coaches, right? So like how to be an effective coach and lots of value, but then going really deep into each area through separate programs, right? So one could be on productivity, one could be on, you know, marketing and copywriting, etc. Do you think that model would be effective, or do you think it's better to put them into like a 197 where they get everything?
I think that model can absolutely work. Like, I've seen people make that model work. The question for you would be, what is your bandwidth as far as if you have 5 or 6 different courses in your library at one point? Do you want to be doing, you know, 1 or 2 launches per year of each of those programs? And what does that look like? Or are you doing it in an evergreen way? But I can see it getting to the point where it's just a lot for you to manage. That doesn't mean it's a bad model, or that there wouldn't be ways around it.
Right. Yeah, something to think about. I really appreciate
I
it.
I will say that Laurel's a bit of a unicorn, having a membership on the front end. It's really hard to pull off. Memberships don't have a finite result. It's hard to sell them, because if it's typically a membership is like ongoing mastery or ongoing implementation support. So it's hard to sell that in the front end, because people are always looking for like concrete, what is the deliverable you're going to give me, even if it's $7? And so the fact that, I mean, Laurel's living proof that it works, whatever it is, 1,400 members in here. But at the end of the day, our approach is membership on the back end, and then something on the front end that helps people get that desired outcome that they're intending.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, and just talking to that too, if I could do this over, because you guys know I built all of this willy-nilly. If I could go back, I would have a workshop on the front end of this as a clarity piece. My membership is a certainty piece that teaches you guys like the whole Facebook ads thing. But if I could go back and do this over, and I'm trying to go back and do this over with these front end workshops that I give to you guys inside this program, I would have the basics of Facebook advertising as a mini workshop that sells people into the set. If I could do total transparency, if I could do that over again, that's what I could do. Like right now I'm working on that clarity piece with using their exact same framework that goes in between this program and my premium program for that exact purpose too. So total transparency, I 100% agree with what Justin says.
So if you guys can raise your hand actually in the chat, like in the participants window,
I saw Carrie's been raising her hand since the beginning.
Hi, thank you.
But I thought we were giving Carrie the cold shoulder because home treats. I thought that was the agreement here.
Yeah. So I've had a $7 membership for a long time, and I couldn't sell it. And I don't know if I was clear on my promise, or like you just said, Laurel, it was really hard to sell that membership, because they'd get in and then they get confused and they wouldn't know what to do and it wouldn't make sense. So I created a front end boot camp. So I'm a fitness trainer. I have a 4-week program called Muscles and Macros, and I run it boot camp style on the front end. And that's what I market every month. I do a free 5-day workout challenge to my 4-week Muscles and Macros strength and macronutrition training program. I charge $147 for it on the front end. And on the back end of that, I have my $7 membership. Now, I'm not getting enough people into that $147 group every month. And it's like constant launch mode, because I've got to do it every month. And then I'm like, should I put them straight into the membership and get rid of that? Except they get results in the boot camp, which is why they love my program, because then they go into the membership and that's just continued community and they get more workouts and more meal plans and all that stuff. But I'm struggling on how to the front end part to really drive this thing and grow it faster, because it's slow. What do you think? A workshop, or should I lower the price of it, or should I, because if I just give them a workshop, they don't actually do the work. Or should I give them the workshop and then invite them to the membership for $7 to do the work with me?
Sarah?
We have some people who have an almost boot camp type mini workshop where the mini workshop teaches the process, and then they have a pop-up group. So a Facebook group for people in those workshops, and maybe they get access to that group for 7 days or for 10 days when they buy it. But it's still framed as a mini workshop where it feels smaller and more low risk, less overwhelming to like make that workshop purchase versus like, oh my gosh, I'm getting to this intensive boot camp and I'm paying, you know, $200 for it or whatever.
I think
There's a different like mental perspective there. And so I'm wondering if there's a way for you to maybe like streamline and simplify the boot camp a little bit so that you can like teach it within a workshop, facilitate it within, you know, 7 days or something that people get access to a pop-up group and kind of rotate through there, where it isn't too much delivery for you.
Yeah, because it's so much delivery over the 4 weeks that for me to do that for $7 maybe, but it's like
that feels like a lot. No, that feels like a
intense.
lot. So yeah, so maybe there's like a 7-day, you know, kickstart point for them or something. And maybe you give them the option right on the thank you page of the workshop, like they buy the workshop and on the thank you page, they have a one-time offer that's like, hey, want to jump into my membership where I'll literally help you do this for the next 30 days and help you get these results. And you might be able to get some people straight from that workshop purchase into your membership.
Yeah. Also the, you know, having a low ticket front end, even at $150, you know, that's time sensitive, where it's like people can't join 3 weeks out of the month. What if at week 2, I'm like, I really need help. And then, you know, your boot camp's already started and they can't sign up for it. Having a workshop or something that's available 24/7, 7 days a week that you don't have to fulfill on, just means when someone is when someone is problem aware, they instantly are like, oh, I can go buy this thing and get this result. And it doesn't have to be everything you teach in the boot camp. It's like a sliver of that, but that is enough to get people to say, she knows what she's talking about. I would like to, you know, learn more or be a part of it.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe I can pull out the video course training and make it maybe like a 5-day meal plan and a 5-day workout plan. And then if they want to implement it and get more than just the 5 days, then they can join. Just they get such good results in the full. So I'm having a hard time separating it, but I'll think on it and throw some ideas around. Thank you.
Justin, you said you had a question, and I saw Jerica as well wanted to ask a question. And then I'm trying to keep up with the chat, guys.
Dustin, we can't hear you, man. I see lips moving, but I can't hear you.
And Dara too. I see Dara.
Okay, let's go, Jerica.
Hi, how are
Hey
you
there.
all doing? I'll turn on my
Awesome.
video. I'm sitting on the
Perfect.
couch listening. I'm gonna buy your course after we get off this call. But my question is, I'll probably have better questions after I watch the workshop, but I'm wanting to do a $7 or $27 a month membership as well. What would you recommend is like a good starting number, or like, hey, this is a founding member price, and after this is gone. And then, so my realm is on using the power of your subconscious mind, overcoming subconscious blocks, manifesting mindset for spiritual women entrepreneurs. So right now I have an abundance check. You know, like, I don't know if you're familiar with Jim Carrey, but he wrote a check for himself. And then like 5 years later, he cashed it because Dumb and Dumber, or not cashed it, but it came true basically, right? So use the law of attraction.
Cool.
So I have abundance checks and deposit slips that have been like, people are like, oh my God, I love this. So they're writing their own money goals, like canceling, you know, debt payments, yada, yada, yada. So I'm trying to figure out how to package that into a $27 offer that then goes into a membership, but I want it to be, I see what you're saying. Like, I don't know what my upsell would be for $197 basically, because if I give them everything in the $7 course on manifesting and mindset, I guess I'm not clear. And again, the workshop may answer that, but how do you not give it all away? How do you not give away the farm in the $7 so you can upsell people to the 197?
Yeah. So one of the things we talk about in Mini Workshop Magic, and this is kind of what Laurel was hinting at with the one line offer, is
Hello.
the magic of Dustin.
Sorry.
Okay. It's good. The magic of a workshop and why we can get a sale, for example, for us for like $25 is because we're helping people accomplish things that are already on their to-do list. So we're not having to create demand. We're not having to bring to light a problem that people don't already know that they have. We're simply saying, hey, we have this solution for anyone who has this existing problem or this item on their to-do list. We can help cross it off for you in 90 minutes. And so for your workshop, like go through Mini Workshop Magic, but like we'll challenge you. Chances are you're thinking too big with it. Like literally that money manifestation, the idea of like writing yourself a check, could be an entire workshop on the idea of like, here are the intervals you should be writing yourself these at. Here's exactly when to open them. Here's who to share it with. Here's like the stories of people that have done it. Like that may be enough from a single front end offer to then say, hey, this is just one strategy to manifest in your life. There's actually 17 other ones that I walk people through in this membership. And so if you like this, you got this result, come join me here.
Totally.
Love it.
And then also like your membership is often going to be inspired by the people who go through the first live round of your workshop and by hearing like the questions that they ask you during like the live Q&A after your first session. And like nothing compares to having real humans be like, okay, Jerica, but how do I do this in this situation? And what if, I have all of this debt? And what if, blah, blah, blah. And that's going to help you also figure out what needs to be in that membership for it to be really valuable. And I also think like less is more a lot of the times. And there's no inherent value in joining a bloated program that has, 87 modules of videos every month. Like that's overwhelming. And we all have enough clutter in our life. So truly your monthly membership could be as simple as hosting one guided meditation a week on clearing like the money blocks that are coming up for people in the moment. And then one call a week where you're getting on, live with a member sharing their money story or doing like live hot seat coaching with them. And so don't feel like, oh my gosh, for my membership to be worth it, I have to be creating 18 new resources a month.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for both
for
of that.
sure.
That makes sense. Okay. I got to write it down. I love that. And so if I do so you're still saying $7 a month, and then maybe, because I have 7 scarcity money mindset traps. So I want that to be the upsell, because I want to create like a feminine, divine feminine wealth academy is like, that's been in my mind to create. So that would go in more in depth on scarcity traps and how to break free from those and, all the things. So that would be the 197, but the basic one would be meditations, transforming your money story, just something basic. And then the upsell could be the more advanced.
So you'll have one workshop that's a one-time purchase, whether that's $7 or $17 or $27 or $29 or whatever. And that's a one-time purchase. And then you'll have one membership on the back end. Or, you could have a membership and a program if you wanted to, but you could have a membership on the back end that's $47 a month. That's like the meditations and whatever. And it could also include some of the things you want to teach in the Divine Feminine Wealth Academy. Like you could just have one back-end membership that's at kind of like a mid-ticket price point, or you could have a membership and a program. You can play around with what offer stack ends up feeling better to you. We like to keep it simple because I don't want to have to manage, 6
I want to
offers.
simplify as well. So simple is great.
Yeah.
And the other thing that happens, and Laurel did this, and we recently did this, is we started with one tier, right?
Yep.
So ours was $197 a month. Laurel started with $7. Then once there was enough people in there to say, hey, I'm noticing a trend, there's a portion of you guys that actually want deeper support and a smaller group setting. And so Laurel opened up the premium program, right? So it went from $7 to, it was $197 when it launched. Well, we just launched a $497 a month option, and we filled 50 spots in like 2 days
Wow.
from people who are in the 197. So because they were already in there, they were already getting results. It was already a no-brainer. So if you're gonna do like 7 and then 197, like Laurel, all I would recommend, or just to think about, consider, is just pick one. Just start with one, and then you can always add the next tier once the first one is dialed in.
Okay, so $7, 37, 47, like, are those like no-brainer sweet spots?
It's totally up to you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
and don't overthink the content that's in like the upsell, because like what people get in the $7 program, there's a couple of different sophisticated strategies that I put in premium, but I only share that with the premium members because they have to go through all the framework in the $7. But for the most part, I'm not doing a ton of extra content in the premium program. It's just my support that brings that higher price tag.
Okay, your one-on-one time.
Mm-hmm. So don't like think, oh, I need to create a whole other membership for this, one night. Like I give them a couple of different more advanced stuff, but for the most part, I share everything that I do with my premium members here in this program. My premium members just get me a couple of times a week.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. I love it. Thank you.
Dustin with the voice
All right.
of God there.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay, sorry about that earlier. It said test the microphone, and then you guys all heard me. Okay, so I've been in the Facebook world for working with chiropractors, but like Justin said, and many of you have said, it's a lot of time consuming as far as an agency is concerned. And so I've also have about 7 years experience working with the local chambers of commerce. And so I thought, why don't I create some sort of like digital chamber of commerce? Because most of them have no clue how to do digital marketing. And I have all these relationships. So I was trying to think, as Laurel said, she would do like a mini course ahead of time. I guess that's kind of my question. Like if I'm targeting like locally right now, what would that type of course look like? Not look like, but what would maybe be a topic I should cover to try to pull them in from that?
So here's what I would do, only because I know, like from my experience, do a clarity piece. What is it that you need them to know before coming into the membership, right? So for instance, like with the $7 program, a lot of people, I'm trying to make them run before they walk and have all of the foundational stuff. And so that's why I went back and did the mini workshop magic and put that workshop at the beginning of the membership that we have now. That would have been my clarity piece, like how to set up their ad account, how to do that kind of stuff. Those are all of the things that's going to help your business owners get started so that when they come into your membership, they're not going to be lost. They're not going to feel behind. They're going to have all the clarity that they need to have all of that foundational stuff done so that you're not having to do the baby steps inside the membership where everyone else has already gone through that. Does that make sense? That's what I would do. That's what I would personally do.
Okay.
So you're going to help them, get like, if you want to teach them to, run their own ads, like, is that what you would be teaching them?
I would teach them how to run their own run their own ads.
So it would be something like how to set up your first Facebook ad and get 3 new clients this week in a single afternoon. And you'd teach them like the 1 or 2 or 3 hour workshop on setting up their Facebook account and starting one simple ad. And that would mean that, they'd get some results from that. And then they'd probably have a ton of questions like, wait, my ad stopped working. What do I do now? Wait, how do I set up a second one? Wait, this thing broke. What do I do? And those are the types of questions that you would answer in the membership, but they'd come in already like having their business page, having run one ad before, and already trusting you because they've tested this little piece of your method and it's worked.
Okay.
I actually just went through the framework of doing that for like, and I called it how to set up your first ad or how to launch your first ad in the next 90 minutes. I'll send it to you, Dustin, because you could literally just kind of look at the framework and take it. Thanks. I don't care.
I was going to say, someone was asking about pricing, and I'm thinking about making it $9.34. And the bizarre number behind it is don't want it $10, and my favorite number is 4, and my wife's favorite number is 3. So it doesn't really matter. I'm just making it different. All right, thanks,
Test
guys.
it, yeah.
I see Jean. Let's go, Jean.
Hey.
A second. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. I was multitasking. I was trying to rush back over to turn my camera on.
How dare you not pay attention to us?
I am here and I am so grateful for this opportunity. Okay, so I'm on your sales page and I'm absolutely loving the workshop. So I'm definitely going to buy it. But my problem is less is more and focusing on the one win. Okay, so your sales page, which I love, by the way, is just one of the things you say is give people a quick win or a quick solution that they can do in less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm always doing way too much. I'm on team too much constantly. All right. So my signature, my high ticket program that I have right now is a biz builder program. I work with a person that has started their business over the course of 6 months, and we focus on strengthening their business foundation. So I'm an accountant and a business advisor. So over the course of the 6 months, there are 6 things that we look at. We look at your business structure, whether or not you should be an LLC, taxed as an S corp, all of that stuff. We look at your business credit, personal credit, owner pay structure. So you get the drill, right? Mm-hmm. So the program that I had a freebie, and my freebie was basically, what do I do? Or what did I wish I knew after I got my LLC? And it basically was 10 steps, or 10, not 10 steps, but 10 power moves that I would have wanted you to make when you first got your LLC, if I was your accountant or your business advisor, right? So I have those 10 steps, those 10 strategies, but it's not like it's step 1, step 2, step 3. So I'm trying to figure out how to narrow my focus to give someone one win, like you're saying, so then they can come, like Laurel just said, what do you need to know before you come into the membership program? I have a clear idea of what my membership program is going to look like, but just getting one person interested, because someone may be okay on their personal credit side, but they need structure. Someone may need business credit, but you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how to focus on one thing, because that freebie has been doing really good because people want that checklist, and it's not a 2-hour win.
So from someone who went through this whenever she was like setting up her business, like with the LLC and stuff like that, I would say probably what seems easy to you seems really hard and foreign to people like me who are trying to set up this LLC stuff. Your mini workshop you could probably take that freebie, because here's the thing, and this is what I tell my students in premium all the time, is people will grab your freebie, and where does it stay? In your freaking email, right? We sign up for things and they live in our email. And so I am willing to bet like that first checklist, whatever you think is just that one thing on that checklist, you could probably make a mini workshop out of that one thing, because it's stuff like that is super, super complicated to people like me who don't even understand like the terminology, the things like whether we should do partnership or, S Corp and all of these different things. Like there's so many things that come easy to you guys, but for us, like we don't know the language. Like even just the languaging could be like one whole like section, because it's like we get caught up in like, well, should we do an S Corp? Should we do this? And I'm just willing to bet that first thing on your checklist could be a whole mini workshop on its own.
And then I understand what you're saying about how do I pick the one thing when my people are at different points. So how do I pick something that's valuable to everyone? And one thing that I'll say is, like, the mini workshop doesn't have to be the only entry point for your business forever and ever and ever. So it's like pick one specific thing that, you know, maybe 60 or 70% of the ideal people coming into your membership like haven't done yet, like setting up an LLC. And then like those people have this really clear place to like get a quick win, check something off their to-do list that feels so complicated but important to them, and then come into your membership. And then like down the road, if you want to, you could do a separate mini workshop on business credit or personal credit. That's like a separate entry point to your membership. I think it's so easy to feel like, oh, I have to teach everything at the front end, or if I get too specific, I'm going to exclude a few people who would be a good fit for my membership. But really, there's so much power in being specific, and just know that you're not confined to that one thing forever. Like focus in on one thing, check that off, you know, get that workshop funnel figured out. And then like 6 months down the road, if you want to, you could set up like a second mini workshop that becomes a second entry point for your membership. But I think it's actually more dangerous to try to go too broad to something that like every single person will need, because then it's like, this doesn't really feel like it's for me. It feels like it's for anyone. It feels like too general and vague.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it. Okay.
Okay, so we have about 5-ish minutes left, and I see a question from Jean. Question from
There's
Dara.
there's Jack and Dara. Dara's been raising her hand for a
Yes.
while, so
Let's start with hers because she's
Okay.
So I have a $37 low ticket course and have a workshop which is included in the course. So her course is like an SLO, but it's a full course. I actually have it. It's awesome. I want to offer the workshop to others not in the course. So would you offer the workshop for 17 or 20 with an order bump and they get the course, or sell the workshop for 37 and the whole course is included?
Is your SLO converting right now?
Yes, it is. This is a conversation that I was actually having with Heather the other day about what to do, because the workshop was always promised from the beginning, but it was your group that motivated me to actually put the words together. And I've had, you messaged me the other night, and I have like probably close to 100 comments on that already. So I have a lot of interest, and a lot of my, like say about half of the people who are interested are not inside the course yet. So Heather and I,
Heather in the chat, she didn't like my answers.
Her ads are doing really
This is
well.
the same conversation we have with Heather about you have an SLO. Just put the workshop in there.
Exactly. So what I'm wondering is, do I offer just the workshop for $17? Because the SLO is 37, but it has order bumps and stuff, right? But do I offer the workshop for 17 for anybody who wants to take it, but they get an order bump of 20 to make it 37, and then they get the course included? Like, is that the packaging? Or is the packaging, pay me $37 for the workshop and I'm going to give you the course?
What's your average order value on the SLO?
It's about just under 60 US dollars. I'm in Canada as well.
Yeah. And then what are you using for your funnel? What software?
It's ClickFunnels, and I've got an order bump and 2 OTOs. Both are converting at benchmark, not major, but like.
Would you add those to the back end if you put the workshop on the front end?
They aren't as relevant to the workshop specifically. They're relevant to the sale, but they're not relevant to the workshop.
So if someone takes the upsell of buying the course, would you have 2 more one-time offers? And if they
somebody
don't,
bought, well, no, I don't sell it by email. So if they purchase the course, they have an option for a bump on the sales page, and then 2 different OTOs that are relevant to who they are, but one of them is relevant to the course and the other one's just for small businesses. So I basically am thinking of the workshop as a different kind of entry point into my SLO. If these people haven't already bought the SLO, maybe they just want this quick win.
Yeah.
What would you do?
So I was just going to say, if you have 100 people and you don't have to make a sales page, I would 100% do the workshop as a separate deal. And
for 17 with a bump,
$17, and then the course you can have as the upsell for 20. Do you want this for $20 more? You can have the whole shebang. Exactly. And that seems like it's an absolute no-brainer. Do you have anything afterwards though? Like where do you make money?
Yeah, Sarah and I were just talking about this on
we were just messaging yesterday.
I don't have I don't have a back end offer that's related to this. I have another business that's unrelated.
Okay.
So here's one of the things that I'm thinking, because your SLO is obviously working from a conversion standpoint. So I would never tell you to go blow that up.
Yeah.
What I would say is do this live workshop and like notice the questions that people have and everything. And one of the reasons that we do a workshop on the front end and not just not a course or a template kit or other types of SLOs is that a workshop is like an event, and it's also really bite-sized. So it's like, I only need to block off a single hour or 2 hours, and I'm going to get this thing done.
Mhm.
And so one of my questions would be like, what is the percentage of people who are like going through your $37 course and getting results? Because you might notice that, and I don't know, but you may notice that even though it's converting really well, more people are actually going to like go through the workshop piece of it as the front end and get results just because it feels like smaller and more accessible, of like, I can get this one thing done and get my whole Google Drive cleaned up and organized in 90 minutes. And that might be like the best entry point because it's just like so specific and laser focused. And so whenever you do figure out like what that back end thing might be, the workshop might be a better front end positioning because you might have a higher completion rate for that. So that's the one thing that I would maybe pay attention to. And then in that case, if that does feel true, then what I would do is sell the workshop on the front end for $17 with like the $20 upsell of the full course, but make that really bite-sized thing like the first entry point.
Yeah, and I love that. And the reason I chose this particular thing for the workshop and for the first workshop is because it was the biggest pain point that I found with, I mean, I have 400 students, so I have a good, and I have, the whole first page was more than 25% completion of the course. So it's a huge course though. So, but people are digging in. So
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
That's great advice. Thank you.
Do you have a Facebook group?
No.
One of the things you could potentially do while you're figuring out your back end offer is just create a Facebook group just for buyers. So it's free to join, but it's only for people who've bought any of your SLO or workshop. And then at least they're in a place where you can market to them afterwards when you do have your back end offer.
Yeah, I didn't want to add that to my to-do list while I was still building out the course content because I pre-sold it with Launch Gorgeous. But it's definitely been on my mind. I've only had 2 people ask me if it comes with a Facebook group though.
Yeah. No, it's more for you than them. It's like a single container where you can validate ideas, you can ask questions, and you just have like cheerleaders on standby.
Go live once and like sell out a bunch of VIP days.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Okay, we got about 3 more minutes. Let's do rapid fire for any last questions.
Erica has a good one.
I feel ignored. I've had my hand up this whole time.
Oh dang it. I thought we got to your question earlier.
I thought we had answered it in the
Oh, that was my pre
your
pre-question. Before Q&A.
Come on, guys. Pay attention to me. We got you.
Bring it on.
All right. So here's what my current model looks like. I started with the reverse ascension. So I started with a 6K offer for one-on-one.
Yeah.
So once I did my first client at that, it gave me breathing room. And then I started doing organic Facebook lives to lead people to a one-day workshop. And from there to a 197 4-week boot camp to a 250 mastermind. So now I'm trying to figure out how can I package a low cost offer in this model since I'm going backwards or since I went backwards. And I'm in the spiritual business mentoring space.
Yeah. So I would say that you have like an awesome advantage of like knowing your ideal clients and having done a ton of work with them and knowing exactly what exercises and practices you've done with them that they've been like, oh my God, that was the game changer for me. That single, practice or ritual or light bulb moment like opened so much up for me. And so you know who they are and you get to pull out one little tiny thing from the work that you've done in these bigger programs, and you get to create like a tiny offer around it that you're not having to guess at what people want. You already know what they want because you've done this work with them. So pull out, a tiny piece, follow the mini workshop magic process and get it launched and get 10 or 50 or 100 or 200 people into that live version of the first one. And then it's up to you what you want to sell on the back end. Like, do you want to keep doing 6K one-on-one work? Do you want to be focusing on filling your mastermind? Like, whatever container on the back end you want to be your priority, you get to use the workshop to lead into it. Because we've got people using mini workshops to fill up one-on-one work, masterminds, group programs, courses, memberships. Like, the mini workshop works as a front end for any of those. So that at that point, it's really up to you.
If my biggest challenge is, like, I've heard some people like, what do I pick, right? So currently, the two things that people message me a lot about is, how do you consistently keep going live and you always have something to talk about? And how do you keep getting on podcasts to attract your clients? So the two workshops that I've done in the past have been around live streaming and podcasts.
I mean, two awesome topics there. Like, one of them could be brainstorming, your next 30 live video topics in an hour, or, get booked on 5 podcasts this month. Could be a mini workshop. Like, that'd be an awesome win for people, right?
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I love it.
And Justin, I loved your Lego flowers.
They're so good. We bought 2.
I saw that. But I only saw you post pictures of like one set.
No, like we bought 2 identicals. So our house has flowers and we don't have to worry about them dying on us.
Got it.
You're the only person I know who has bouquets of Lego flowers.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm okay. Is that the last question, or was there one more?
So Erica had a really interesting question. She said, is a workshop the same as a webinar ads wise?
Erica, what industry?
I mean, the biggest thing is you're getting paid.
Yeah, I mean, that's
instead
practical.
of
What is it?
I mean, I use their framework for all of the live workshop, like webinar workshops that I do. Like, I know that some people look at webinars as like more of an informational type, where as a workshop is more action packed. I kind of look at them from my standpoint as almost being the same thing, because I do, whether I'm doing a webinar or a workshop, I want to make sure that I'm giving actionable steps and stuff. So it just depends on how you look at it. I would say personally, in my world, I would look at them the exact same framework.
Yeah. I think the words you use, Erica, I mean, obviously they matter, and I think it's specific to your niche or industry as well. And so workshop is kind of like a universal word that people understand what it is, whether you work in, a government job or in internet marketing. It's like, we all know what a workshop is. The word webinar has different connotations depending on what industry you're in. It's
so I'm trying to equate this. I have a language school. And so I've been trying to think of other ways to like bring in the money while I build the classes out. And a lot of people's thing is that they can't afford it. They can't afford it. It's not that expensive, but I'm in Latin America and their salaries are way less. So I was trying to think of how I could do some sort of a membership site where I could train, kind of like Laurel's, where she trains once a week and does 2 Q&As where they could kind of get on live and speak. Anyway, so I was thinking of when I wasn't thinking of this until I got on this call, but like, what kind of workshop could I do? I could do like a, have a introductory like a conversation introducing yourself. I don't know how I would word that, but be able to have a conversation to introduce yourself to somebody else in 90 minutes. Like, that would be the workshop, even if you don't speak English at all right now. And then do
how to have a general conversation, like just like like there's a lot of things that you could do, because you have a really good offer. But here's the problem with what you're offering is like, there's so much competition, right? Because people are seeing like the Babbel stuff, they're seeing all of this stuff. So if you can get them in with like this simple workshop to where you're actually getting them to have that first conversation, like, or just a simple thing, right? I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's what I think too is, okay, Shayna. And then I could do like the $17, I guess the bump could be like the recordings and your first month of the membership for $17. And the membership would be $17
I would
a month.
not recommend separating the recording and making that an optional thing, because that's part of someone getting the success that a workshop. The whole point of a workshop is they actually achieve that thing, whether it's live or the recording. So if they have to buy that recording and they don't get the result, then they're not going to go to your membership.
It's
Wait,
so we
say-
want
say it
people to, we want to prioritize them getting the win from the core product, and part of that includes access to the recording so they can rewatch it, so they can watch it if they aren't able to make it live. And so we never want to separate that from the product. You might have an order bump be, you know, here's 10 different scripts for conversations, or here's a recording of intro conversations in English that you can listen to in the background while you're cooking or cleaning to like really help this sink in. You know, like you'd want it to be something that's a bonus, not something that's critically essential to like the core.
Okay. I mean, basically I would just want them to get into the,
Yeah.
I want to try to see if I can do some sort of a membership that would be so cheap.
Right. And I love that. I mean, how awesome for someone to come and get to practice English once a week with you in a small group and be around other people at their level who are trying to learn this language. Like just having live Zoom calls once a week where you're teaching a couple new words and new sentences, and then splitting people into breakout rooms where they can practice the script that you're giving them or
That's
whatever.
exactly what I was thinking.
Would be like crazy valuable.
good.
And I can totally see you being able to get, you know, dozens or hundreds of people in and doing like a low ticket volume type membership.
Yeah. So I think it was Laurel just said, watch out for, so there's some big players like Babbel, but none of them that I know of have anything sort of like that.
Well, and here's the thing, like there are benefits to being small. You can get on Zoom with these people. Like you can facilitate these really like intimate experiences. Like an app isn't doing that. You know, we can all download Duolingo or whatever.
Right.
But that's not the same as getting to talk to someone and speak with another real person who's learning on a Zoom call.
Exactly. That's yeah. And the difference between the whole school. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, we have got to hop off.
Where my face
We're
is.
a little late today. Hey, appreciate everyone. You guys are awesome. Laurel, you're awesome. Your group is always awesome.
They are awesome. They are awesome. They show up and they do the work, and you know, that's all we could ever ask for. So I'm going to post the replay, guys, inside the Facebook group. I'm also going to post the link for Mini Workshop Magic. I have posted in the comments, but I'm also going to post the link because I know that there's going to be people in here who want the extra help from Sarah and Justin. So I'm going to go ahead and post the membership link too. It's amazing. And there's going to be some ad stuff coming to that membership there pretty soon. So lots of fun stuff.
We brought in an expert.
You're gonna see me pop up in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, like what you guys are doing here, and like I was just telling this to Sarah before we even popped on with everyone, like Justin and I's stuff goes so well together. That's why you always see me talking about Justin. I use his frameworks for everything. I use his 30 and 3 workshop for my ads, for my retargeting. I use his Click Go Live scripts for my own stuff. Like our programs go hand in hand. And so basically just take advantage of like the stuff, like they have a lot of low ticket like stuff. Just, you know, I'm going to drop the links, get whatever you guys want, but I will tell you guys, they are just as good at bringing the value as I am. And so that's why you guys know I won't bring in anyone here who doesn't have you guys' interest first before making money. So definitely pick that up. And like I said, I'll post the replay. And if you guys think of any questions after, Justin, I know is pretty well in the group. So feel free to ask him any questions. But I will see you guys on our next live coaching call, which is February 1st. So if you guys are stuck on where to go with ads, that's going to be the call to be on. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks, friends.